What happened last time?
For who?
Clay. What do you remember?
Clay was still, well, birdless, running around with Peggy and Cameron. A few things that came to light, right? Will Scott, he's going cuckoo now. So his boy's doing something to his memory. He might have taken a gun with him, so we're pretty sure he's armed. And aggressive if he's pushing and hurting his mom. So the back of her head looked like it had a fall or bat wound or something like that. I believe last episode was where I found the footprints with all the burn marks around them. Tate Clay kind of thinks that could be from the so-called teleporting, which may or may not be a word in this time frame, but
Trans-dimensional shifting. I think that's probably what he would use.
disappears and reappears.
Transmorgified.
The directions of the footprint looked like they could have been going towards the mill, but that's kind of far away. And the big part, when we were back at the church, falling asleep, 2 silver spheres came out of nowhere and, for lack of better words, possessed Cameron and tried to make him stab himself with the pen. But Tate, being the big badass he is, was able to break out of his petrification and stop it. That is where we left off.
Mm-hmm. You'd been asleep for about a couple hours, I think I remember saying, just judging by how much the candle had burnt out, or how much of the candle had burned down since it had been blown out, or before it had been blown out. We open our scene with Cameron and Clay immediately after we last left them. The two are on the ground right now, and Cameron is shaking. His eyes are wide, almost like shell shock. He's kind of shaking a little bit, just looking into Tate's chest. The room is silent and dark. The tiny amount of pale moonlight that creeps through the window shows just enough to see outlines of 2 men on the floor. One is in a state of panic while the other holds him.
Tate will gently tap Cameron on the cheek. Cameron, are you there with me? You with me? Breathe, Cameron. Breathe, Cameron. Breathe.
He blinks real heavy. And then you realize, looking at him, he like sees you, and he goes and gives you a hug. It was
What was that, Cameron?
I think well,
Here, sit. And Tate will help him up into a chair and then light one of the candles.
and he kind of like looks at his hands, and he looks them over and down over his body, and kind of like feels himself. What happened? What did
You tell me, Cameron. What happened to you?
I think it was Philip, but there was something else. It was like it wasn't him, but it was, and I'm not sure. Fuck.
Deep breaths, Cameron.
It was like being in the middle of a lake, but there wasn't any shore, like the ocean, but it was so cold. There was no bottom. I was here, but I was there, and something was inside me. It was inside me. I couldn't do anything about it. I tried.
Cameron, calm down. Tate's gonna get some water. And
I'm sorry.
You're here with me now, Cameron.
And he's he wipes his eyes, and he just keeps looking at his hands.
Look at me.
Yep.
Look at me.
Yep.
You're still alive.
Yeah.
It didn't work. And if I was a betting man, with whatever Andrew doing having failed, probably caused some backlash onto him.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know.
You weren't able to get any sort of clue of where he might have been? No feeling?
I don't know.
I want to roll a medical check. Would it be medicine or would it be first aid, just to give him like a quick look over of his body?
Well,
Checking for like wounds or bruises or...
I think first aid is fine. You're just checking him over for like wounds or injuries, stuff like that.
Not trying to figure out what to prescribe.
Yeah. First aid, sure.
48 under 61 first aid. Success.
He seems fine.
No visual wounds, bruises, or anything?
No.
Okay.
It's I don't know. It's a mess. There's a lot. Some of it's there and some of it's not. And he raises his hands and kind of makes a gesture with his fingers like there's a mess.
Let's try to get out what we can now before it all gets lost.
I don't know. I'll try. What does Clay want to do?
Looking outside, or if there's a clock in here or something, what time does it appear?
It's about 2 a.m. Maybe 3.
What are you thinking, Cameron? You want to try to get some more sleep, or should we go back out?
I don't think I'm sleeping tonight. I don't think I could if I tried.
And about how much sleep would I have gotten?
2-3 hours, not much.
You know what? Quiet way to get out of here.
Out of here?
Yeah. The church.
Yeah.
Let's take a walk.
All right. He gets up. You're following?
Yes. And we're trying to be quiet.
Yeah. He's trying to be quiet, but
Tate is quiet.
He steps on, a creaky piece of floor, bumps into a pew. The church is dark, pitch dark. There is a rather large window behind the podium that has some basic geometric designs on it. It's not stained glass, but it's meant to look a little artistic, a little bit of a flourish. The stars from outside are bright through the window. And you guys get to the door, same door you came in through, and you're outside. A single cricket plays its song, but it is otherwise a very silent night.
And Tate will just start walking towards the little sheriff's office there.
The footfalls in the dirt are loud from the two men, seeming to echo across the sides of the buildings like a stone tossed down a canyon. Each crunch of dirt and rock seems like an affront to the purity of the night. A lone cricket plays its tune somewhere out of sight. The wings of something flutter past under an awning. Judging by the moon, it's around 2 a.m. And we're going to switch to Birdie. Dubois? What do you remember? Where did we leave off?
Okay, last episode, Birdie and Sheriff Garvey left the, let's see here, the Smithson's home.
Will Scott's.
The Will Scott's home. Will Scott and Smithson, for some odd reason, those always get confused in my brain. We left the Will Scott's home, and through clues found there, Birdie deduced that Andrew likely was at the sawmill, old abandoned sawmill. So we made our way out there, and sure enough, there was funky things afoot. So we went upstairs, failed terribly on stealth checks. Shenanigans ensued. Both Andrew and Garvey were shot and killed by each other. And Birdie was strongly affected by a presence in the room. And the last thing I remember is him going outside to like a log or a stump or something. I think it was a stump. And he just sat down and fired a couple shots into the air, hoping that Tate might hear him.
You also would remember inside, when you broke into the room, Andrew had his hands in the air, and there were these vein-like appendages that were almost like a mirage around him, above him, right? Kind of visual, but not, almost like a something projected on a mist.
Yeah.
And some of those snapped while you were standing there, and Andrew kind of like fell over and was yelling like in pain. And when he saw you two, he backed up against a wall. He had a pistol on his hip, but he raised his hand up toward you and said something. And that's when Birdie had his reaction.
Yes.
When it was over, after you heard the gunshots and checked on the two of them, you remember seeing 3 books on the ground, just blurry. His vision is still impacted. And there was a presence in the room that he felt. And you rolled an intuition and a willpower check. And willpower is kind of your, attunement and whatever. And he felt 2 distinct feelings. He tried talking to Philip. He was like, Philip, I know you don't want to do this. And he felt one feeling of regret and another feeling of amusement. And Birdie said, fuck you. You ain't Philip. Then he walked outside.
That's right. Fuck you. You ain't Philip.
So we open our scene. It's extremely windy. The walk there was extremely windy, but sitting in solitude, in silence, the wind blows across Birdie. Does he have hair?
Birdie does have hair, yes. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, just, he cuts it occasionally, but it's a little past his ears. You know, he keeps it pulled back.
I'm imagining him kind of sitting there, his eyes still blurry, staring at this mill, and the wind blowing his hair, you know, just straight across the top of his head.
Well, he's got his hat on.
Oh, he does have his hat on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Permanent fixture when outside.
Birdie Johnson sits alone on the stump of a tree. The silhouette of the mill a short distance in front of him. Several candles appear to have gone out, though a few windows still show a dim light. A distinct feeling of being watched, as if something hungry were staring at him, permeates from the mill. The stars above move a little before Birdie hears something behind him. He turns, feeling an intense sensation of vulnerability on his back, the mill behind him now. His sight is still blurry, but slightly better than it was earlier. The sound is clearly of hooves, carefully navigating the terrain.
Birdie's gonna get up off the stump, and he's gonna stand on the stump and look toward the sound of the hooves.
You make out the shape of a horse with a rider on top, something in his hands. Careful now. I ain't afraid to shoot you here. The hell you firing at like that over here? The horse gets closer.
Birdie's gonna put his gun away.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
I ain't used the lawman from earlier?
That's right, I'm Marshal Johnson.
Though your sight is blurry, you can tell he's holding a rifle.
Do I recognize him?
The voice, maybe.
Okay.
Sounds like one of the Geraldines.
You know, if my ears aren't deceiving me, I do believe I'm chatting with one of the Geraldines right now.
Yeah, that'd be right. What you doing out here shooting like that for?
I was trying to get someone's attention.
Well, you got it.
All right. Well, I got a crime scene in that mill over there. I was hoping to get my partner's attention, hoping he was making his way over here.
All right, well.
Yeah. Not that I, mind what you're doing in your business and whatnot. But what are you doing out here, if you don't mind me asking?
Well,
Oh, you heard me shooting.
heard you shooting.
Yep.
I was out looking for coons.
Got it. I was wondering, maybe you could help me out a bit. Is there any way you could ride back into town and let my partner, that'd be Tate Clay, Secret Service, know that I'm out here and that we got some cleaning up and other things to do?
Yeah, horse feed ain't free, but we'll do it for $1.
You got it. You need it now, or gonna get it to you on your way back?
You see him take his rifle. It's shiny. You can tell it's some kind of a lever action. He puts it into a saddle holster, reaches out a hand. Now, if you don't mind, I'll take it now.
All right. As long as you remember, I know where you live.
Yeah, and I know where you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well,
tell him to bring horses, too. I ain't trying to walk back again.
all right. Man, I'll be back then.
Thank you.
He starts.
Hey,
Huh?
try to be discreet about it. Like, don't tell nobody but Tate. You know what I mean?
Well, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
All right, thank you.
Hey, by the way,
Yep.
That meat and cheese was pretty good.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And now we're going to switch back to him.
I'll get him back in.
The silence is broken by the familiar sound of a horse moving fast. Around the corner, a dark brown horse slows down. Atop it, a rider with long, greasy hair and overalls. A lever-action rifle shines and sits in a holster near his leg. He moves toward the two of you. With a packed lip, he asks, "Either of you know a lawman called Clay? Something special about him?"
That might be me. Who's asking?
He spits out a big chunk of brown. "Fellow named Johnson looking for you. Asked me to come get you to him over at the mill."
You're telling me there's a Johnson at the mill?
"Yeah. He said you'd give me $1 to bring him there. Well, he did say he needed more horses. So."
He looks over at Cameron. Cameron? I knew he should have went to that fucking mill.
"Well, it's kind of far."
You know how to get there?
"Me?
Yeah, you.
A little bit." "Well, now, hold on. Feller said to only bring you. Told me to be discreet about it, whatever that means."
And you are only bringing me, but he's going to follow.
Okay. Yeah, fine. That's fine.
Remember what we were talking about? You're part of it now.
Yeah.
And we see it through to the end.
Yeah. Yeah. Part of it now. Yeah. Maybe I can get one of those. He points towards your hip.
We'll see about that.
Oh, okay. I've shot one before.
And so have I. What matters, son, is where you shoot it.
It's all nice now, but gentleman out there at the mill said you'd have $1 for me.
And that I do. Funny thing is, he's got all my money.
Roll a bullshit roll.
59.
Over, under, fast talk, I think is what that'd be.
God, that's way over on fast talk. I have a 5.
All right. Roll a psychoanalyze. That's what I'll say.
Not a fast talk?
No. Just roll it. What do you got?
23.
What do you have for intelligence?
Hang on. Intelligence is 85. Psychoanalyze is a 1.
Okay.
And he rolled a 23.
Yeah, all right. Fine. You both were just lying to each other.
Not surprised.
Well, where are you going to get the horse from? Hurry up now.
Let's make our way to the stable. And we head towards the stables.
The stable is closed, locked up, but you do see a couple of horses inside.
Tate will do his due diligence and knock at the door. Anyone in there? Awake?
No response. But he's probably at home.
Oh, well, if no one lives here.
No, he doesn't live here. He has a small...
You know how to saddle a horse?
I've done it before.
Well, get 2 ready. Let's go.
He goes around.
Actually,
Clay, it's locked.
we can't just jump it? I mean, this is like early 1900s. These are got to be just wooden fences.
Yeah, but how are you you're gonna kick it open from the inside?
No, if it's just a wooden fence in a pasture, we'll just take it down quick.
Take it down quick. So what are you're gonna jump inside and then...
Well, describe it a little bit to me then.
Yeah, so it's like it's a small kind of barn, right? Very small, just for the little downtowny area. There's 2 horses inside. It's mostly enclosed. It's like obviously open enough that air and light can get in and everything. People can see the horses, but there's not like, they can't like jump out of it. You know what I mean? You'd have to pick the lock, break the lock, kick it open, something like that. Shoot it.
What is lock picking skill related wise?
There should just be a lockpick skill.
Oh, right, locksmith. That's,
What's your locksmith?
1.
What's your firearms?
For pistol?
Yeah.
64.
Oh,
Tate doesn't really feel like making noise right now.
mm-hmm.
Being a stable, he's going to look around. Is there any sort of crowbar or prying mechanism or
Roll a luck check.
a hatchet sitting around? Why did my luck not update and save? (42/29).
While you're looking, you're kind of peeking around over here, back over there. Oh, maybe somebody would have left it over there behind that. Cameron leans down and he pulls something out of his pocket and he bends it, kind of jiggles it inside there a little bit and twists it. There you go. It's unlocked.
You'll make a great Fed one day, you know that?
Well,
He pats him on the back and opens the door and walks in.
and there's 2 horses.
They get him saddled up and take him right out the front door.
All right. The fellow with the long hair and overalls. All right, well, you 2 know the way then? Well, I do. All right, well, then I think my job's done.
And we head to the mill.
Cameron starts moving that direction. You can tell he's not the most confident rider in the world.
Neither is Tate.
And in fact, I'm going to ask you to roll a ride check.
63/5.
So Cameron is clearly not, the best rider in the world, but you can tell he has ridden before. You've met people who haven't. And he's able to maneuver his horse. You guys get through the like downtowny area, through the residential area, off to the side into the woods, and very quickly you're through the woods. Cameron periodically will lean down and politely whisper to his horse. Tell her to move a little faster, tell her she's doing a good job. You move through that bit of woods that surrounds the town into a wasteland of tree stumps. As far as the eye can see, there is seemingly nothing for miles but the remains of a harvest and the death of a forest. A coyote or some kind of an animal jumps away from the horses behind some foliage. Nearby is a river, quietly shimmering as it moves south. After some time, you can see the outline of what must have been the main logging camp. A 2-story building sits near a river. A faint glow shows through some of the windows. The horse crosses the river at a low point. You see a man sitting on a tree stump. Birdie, you're sitting there on that stump. It's been about an hour before you hear, again, hooves. Horses. You look over, you see 2 moving toward you.
Over here.
I think he sees one semi-confident rider and another rider trying to hang on for dear life.
Which one's which?
Tate's hanging on.
Give that man a boat. He'll look more comfortable.
As soon as they get in the clearing, Tate will hop off the horse. I've never been more glad to be on land. Is that you, Birdie?
Yeah, I'm over here. I see Geraldine found you.
That who that was?
That's right.
Interesting fella.
Who
Says you
is-
owe him $1 or something.
Yeah, I already paid that crook. Who else is here? 2 horses?
Yep.
One rider?
Nope. 2 riders. But
Looking?
your vision is still blurry.
That's right. Hey, who else we got here with us?
Birdie, this is Cameron. Cameron, Birdie. It's the preacher's kid.
Ah, yeah, Andrew's friend.
Well, I don't know if that's the right word for it.
Andrew's former companion.
Yeah, I
Most recent target.
I'm going to need a bit more than that.
You remember coming back to you at all?
as much as I can. I don't know. It's sure, I guess.
As far as I'm concerned, he kind of owes me his life, so he's hanging around. What the?
Yeah.
You're alone?
Yeah. Yep, I'm alone. Yeah,
How does Birdie look?
Go ahead.
Birdie is physically he looks fine. Just can't really see right now. I don't know what his eyes look like.
He did bleed out of his.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Birdie's probably got some dried blood around his eyes.
Tate's gonna walk up to him and light a match, and he wants to give him a first aid general look over.
Okay, go ahead.
It's an 83 over 61 for a fail. So he doesn't really notice anything.
Well, you do notice some dried blood that must have come from his eyes. And his eyes look pretty shot, very red. That's about all you notice.
Yeah, my eyes are.
Doing okay?
I can't really. Not seeing too well at the moment. But that's the least of our concerns. Birdie's gonna look towards the foggy general outline of Cameron. Like, I don't know if this guy should be hearing this. Tate, why don't you let us? Cameron, why don't you give us a minute?
Okay. And he pulls out a little pocket watch. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, you stay there. Tate, why don't you now walk over here real quick?
You see why I like this kid?
Oh, yeah, no, sure. He puts the watch away and he starts walking toward the river.
All right, don't go too far. All right, Tate. It's been a long day, and I feel something wretched. So I'm just going to go out and say it. Sheriff Garvey and I were at the Will Scott's home. Saw some clues in there that led me to this here mill. And Garvey and I went up there to investigate. We found Andrew floating above one of them creepy circles.
Floating.
Yep. Full in possession of something. Yeah, he was dealing with something dark. And that something dark is still around, by the way. I got hit hard with the hoodoo, if you will.
You got your mind scrambled.
I got my mind scrambled, right?
I told you it sucks.
Straight like eggs. And when I came to, both Garvey and Andrew had shot each other. They're both dead upstairs. There's a few books up there. And I sensed Philip, young man, who I think kind of started this whole fiasco. I sensed him and something else. And that something else is what we're actually fighting right now.
That's the man that gave him the book. Or...
So there was a man that gave him a book, huh?
yeah.
All right, well, that's suspect number 1 right there.
So,
Remember how Cameron described him?
a man in white. Is that all you're looking for? Or...
Yeah.
Because that's not just Yeah, I guess pretty much right after Philip killed himself, a man showed up and gave Andrew this book.
You got the book?
Well, I'm hoping it's one you were just talking about upstairs.
Oh. Well, I'd be betting it's probably so.
You got a light on you by chance?
Birdie's going to reach into his coat pocket and pull out a match.
Nah, I got matches too. I'm looking for a lighter.
A lighter? Nope. What you need a lighter for?
Well, see better in the dark.
I mean, shit, there's candles and stuff inside.
That helps.
Yeah, I'd suggest not lighting them where they sit. Who knows how this stuff works?
You ain't wrong there, Birdie.
Birdie's gonna pull out his tobacco and papers and roll himself a cigarette. A much-deserved cigarette. All right, well, you want me to hang out here with Cameron? I don't much feel like going back in there at the moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Cameron can watch over you.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on the kid.
Birdie, I'm over here.
Well, I can still hear you.
How many fingers am I holding up, Birdie?
All right, why don't you get up on in there and quit being a shit.
Cameron,
Yeah.
make your way back over here.
He does. Comes up the hill from the river. Yeah.
You hang out with Birdie here for a minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I want you to tell me all about this man and his book.
Yeah, okay.
Birdie, he was kind of a forced accomplice, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Some good information from this kid.
yeah, I'd like to hear it from the source if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Well, from here, who wants to go? I think. Well, let's do a little. You already know what's in there, so you don't have to leave.
I want to go in that fucking house.
Yeah. We'll start with that. We'll do that first. Okay. So Clay walks away from the two. You get a distinct feeling of being watched.
He's going to look for that fucking bird.
He looks. He doesn't see it. Actually, roll a hidden check for me. Do we have the cigar box? What happened to the cigar box?
It should be behind you.
Yes. For the listening audience, I just had Sadesky put 2 dice into a cigar box. I looked at him. He shook it up and then took the dice back, making a hidden roll. You look around. You don't see any crow or raven or anything like that. But you get this feeling like if you're in the woods in the dark and something hungry is looking at you, but it's directly ahead of you. You get that distinct impression. One of those intuitive feelings that's hard to explain. Make it stronger. Roll your dice real quick for me. Just roll them. Open. Tell me what you get.
29.
As you get closer, this feeling of almost like panic or anxiety, the same way that like you or I or the listening audience might get when you're in a dark basement, you know, and you feel like something's behind you and you need to just like run up the stairs as fast as you can because something is there. Something is there, but you're walking toward it. You walk up the stairs. You notice one of the railings is broken. It's kind of slick. The door is kicked open. It's still open. You look inside, and clearly there's maybe 4 or 5 candles still lit from where you're standing. It's dim. It's a larger room. One of the shadows in a corner seems to move, and your eyes flash there, and there's nothing. There's a pressure, almost like a congestion, but deeper. Roll secretly twice. I need 2 of them. And I'm actually going to get up and come over to you, away from the mic. All right. Do it again. There are 2 distinct essences in the room. You can feel them almost like smelling 2 different things at once, like walking into a kitchen and very clearly picking up on 2 different meals that are being prepared. One is weak. It's sorrowful and lost. The other is ravenous. It's unnatural. The image of crooked teeth with meat and sinews dangling from them crosses your mind. On the floor, leaning against the wall, is Sheriff Garvey. Across from him is Andrew Wilscott. Garvey has a hole near his lungs. There is blood splattered on the wall behind him and clearly a hole left by a bullet exiting the building. Across from him is Andrew, 2 holes in his shirtless chest, the shirt that was on it clearly wrapped around his arms, blood all around him. The pool creeps around in an oval. In the blood, to the left of him, is a small stack of books. The top one is a green, leather-bound book. Below that, a well-worn journal. And on the bottom is a notebook. You also notice change. Quarters, dimes, nickels, pennies. Here and there, scattered around. There's bottles of whiskey. Some full, some empty, one half full. That one's closest to him. There's also a piece of wood, rounded, old, rotted. Looks like it may have come off of a saw. What do you do? There's also 2 little piles where a fire must have been, as well as circles similar to the one that you saw under the bridge.
Tate wants to first try to get rid of the circles. Maybe he picks up a bottle of booze and uses that as his cleaning agent. From there, he's going to topple and kick over the fires.
The fires are out. It's just ash.
He's going to kick through all the ash and try to disperse if there's bones or coins or anything like that in there.
There are.
He just scatters everything.
Okay. What else?
And then he's going to pull Garvey out of the building.
When you grab him, he is gone. Cold. Slick with blood, having sat in a puddle of his own for a while. Where do you put him?
For right now, just outside the building.
Okay.
And then he works his way back in. And he's going to go check Andrew. Give him a pat down. Check his temp. Probably untie the shirt from his arms.
Andrew looks ragged. The skin on his face looks like really droopy, really saggy, really wrinkly. He looks like a young man turned old. And when you remove the shirt that's tied around his arms, the sleeves and pieces of cloth. Looks like he's cut himself pretty deep. Looks like he's done this a couple of times. There's also a knife in the room as well. Forgot to mention that. Looks like a kitchen knife.
Philip, if you're in here, he's gone. It's time to move on. Go to wherever it is you're supposed to be. Not here. The one that stood in your way is no more. And he's going to... I assume there's like a towel or something in here.
There's a bag. There's a satchel.
Yeah, he'll use the satchel to pick up the books.
So, after he says what he says to Philip, that image that crossed his mind of the crooked teeth with meat in them, it crosses his mind again, but this time in a grin, just a flash. He goes over to the bag, grabs it, goes over the stack of books. The top one is a dull green, leather-bound. It looks to be a recent style of binding, but when he grabs it and looks at it closer, it appears very old. Grabbing it, there is an instant sense of wrongness, like this shouldn't be touched. That feeling of being watched gets intense. Something isn't happy. Roll an intelligence check real quick. Do you do anything with the book, or are you just throwing it in the bag?
It's just going in the bag for now.
It does look old. It looks pretty old.
It's an 80 under 85.
For what?
A pass. Intelligence.
Ah. Well, when you look at it more, I'll have you do that.
Yeah, he puts all three of them into the bag.
Beneath that green book is a journal. Well worn. There looks to be thumb prints or fingerprints of like a purple powder. Looks to be the same color as what the circles were. Picking up this book gives a subtle feeling of regret, sorrow, mourning. He puts it into the bag. The last book is a notebook. The bottom quarter of it is soaked with blood. He picks it up and some of it kind of droops off, kind of flicks the blood off of it a couple of times, puts that into the bag, making sure not to get the blood on the other books. Then what does he do?
Where does that sad presence feel like it's coming from?
He felt it when he grabbed the
second book
journal, yeah.
Then he's going to take a gander relatively quickly around the house to the insides.
There's a number of candles around. Some of them are still lit. Some of them are not. There's also pools of wax where candles had been burned to the bottom. It's a sawmill where logs would have come up and cut and shot down. There's rusty hand saws here and there, tools.
Is there an oil lamp?
Roll a luck check.
35 over 29.
Over? He does not find an oil lamp.
Okay. Then he's going to go back up and search Andrew. His pockets and whatnot.
He finds a few dollars in change. He finds a couple corks, clearly from some of the whiskey bottles. He finds a pen. He finds a fistful of bullets. Must be for the handgun that's sitting on the floor to his right. And that's all he finds.
The booze that's on the floor. How flammable is it?
Not very.
Is there curtains anywhere?
A little bit. They look rotten.
Large piles of sawdust.
They look kind of moldy. They're like they're starting to get a little rot.
He's going to use whatever dry sawdust and the curtains that he can find, or anything that may be flammable, and he's going to set the place ablaze.
Paint the picture for me. Give me the step-by-step.
So Tate, after he's done searching Andrew, is going to walk towards any curtains or any sort of flammable object, towel, small pieces of wood, sawdust. Pull it up and kind of pile it up in the middle of this mill. Then he's going to take the candles, quite a few of them, and lay them down in a way that they'll catch and not be smothered out, and they'll start the pile of flammable stuff ablaze. Once he notices the fire starts to spread, if it does, he backs out the door, making the sign of the cross. And then he'll pick up and pull Garvey further away. Satchel over his shoulder.
From the window, he can see the light growing. Pulls Garvey away. The two men are still up on that hill. And I think now would be a good time to bring him back. Clay walks away, goes up the stairs, kind of looks at that railing that had recently been pushed over, goes up through the doorway. And you're with Cameron. What questions do you want to ask him?
All right. Well, I figured the best place to start is at the beginning. So why don't you go ahead and tell me a tale?
Well, okay, so he rubs his eyes with both hands, takes a deep breath. Andrew, Philip, and I were friends. Andrew was, well, not a very, I don't know. He had issues. So did Philip, but they were different. I mean, so do we all, right? But Philip passed away. He, passed away, and pretty recently after that, Andrew got this book. He kept it really to himself. It was green, and he said that a man in white had given it to him. And, well, I don't know. And then he started asking me to do things, telling me to do things. And then something happened and to somebody, and I don't know. I didn't want to get, I didn't do anything. And well, that's that.
Well, I can tell you got the gift of gab runs strong in you, huh?
Well,
okay. Let's start with the man in white. Do you ever describe him beyond man in white?
Said he had a accent, Southern, I think he said. He sounded like yeah.
All right. Did he guess at his age? Is this man 80 years old or 30 or?
No, he never said that, a 30-year-old man, but
just a man in white said, "Here, have a book."
Well, he said something else, but I don't know. Andrew didn't really talk much about it. He had this smugness to him.
What else did he say?
Not much. He kind of delighted in, keeping things from people, if that makes sense. I don't know.
I know the type.
Like he thought he was better than people, He just, he always acted that way. And sometimes he would try to act subtle, like he knew it was inappropriate, like he knew it wasn't the right moment to I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter that much anymore, but yeah. Sorry.
All right. So you said Andrew told you to do things. What kinds of things?
Well, like take hair from a brush, fingernail clippings if I could get them, that type of stuff. Chicken bones or bones, small birds, that type of thing. Usually chickens.
And that didn't strike you as odd?
Well, it did, and I knew he was doing something. I knew he was doing something, and but what was I supposed to do?
Not gather the things he asked you to gather?
And then I end up being killed?
So he said if you don't gather these things, he'll kill you?
Yeah.
Okay, so
and then he almost did tonight.
Tell me about that.
Well, Agent Clay and I we chatted, we talked, and we'd looked for you, I think, and we'd gone to bed, and all of a sudden I was awake. I could see, but I wasn't there, and there was something inside me. It was I'm sorry. I don't know how to explain it.
Something was in control of you?
Clay got me out of it. Agent Clay got me out of it. Yeah.
And how did he do that?
I don't know. He was there too. And he wasn't moving. And then he did. He grabbed me. He tackled me to the floor.
Okay. So last I saw you guys, we were leaving the inn.
You see, while you're talking, some of the light from the door kind of fuzzy up. You could kind of put two and two together. You could put two and two together. Looks like Clay is, dragging something, sets it down next to the door, and then goes back inside.
Actually, I've worked hard enough tonight. I think he can finish up on his own. Anyway, as you were saying there, Cameron,
Well, yeah, it was, so he got me out of it.
All right,
Yeah.
let's start at the beginning. All right, so the last I knew is Clay left with Peggy going to check out a mailbox, hoping to find a note that you delivered.
Yeah, she'd left me a note saying that there were people that she was talking to, people who could help. We tried to get help before, and then, Deputy Smithson ended up dying the same way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see how that'd work. So Clay and Peggy go to the mailbox. They find your letter. When do you enter into the picture?
Well, they must have gone to the mailbox and then come straight to me.
All right, where were you?
Over by the church.
Okay.
Not terribly far. There's a little spot in the woods behind the church.
All right, so those two come and meet you up at the church. Then what?
Well, we went around looking for his partner. I'm assuming that's you.
That's correct.
And they couldn't find you, so we went back to the church, and we were going to sleep there. We did. We fell asleep, and there was this thing. Something was in the room, but it was. I don't know how to explain it. I'm sorry.
Would you, if you had to guess, would you say that was about 2 hours ago?
Yeah, about.
All right.
And then you see Clay walk out. You see that like glow from the candles is a lot brighter. You see this like brighter glow, and he's dragging something down the stairs. And then he starts walking towards you guys.
Cameron, you mind giving me a hand with this quick?
Is that okay?
Yeah, go on.
He runs down. Oh my God. That's
That's the sheriff. Just help me pull
is
him
he
back a
okay?
bit. What's it look like?
It looks like he's dead. Is he dead?
Just help me pull him back.
He goes and throws up.
It's gonna happen sooner or later.
What happened? He wipes his mouth.
I can only guess it was Andrew and him got in a shootout, but wrap your arm underneath his shoulder here. We're gonna lift up and start walking him back towards the horses.
Okay. Oh God, I'm sorry.
You good, Clay?
We'll be all right.
You notice Clay's got something around his shoulder. Where do you move him?
We pull him towards the horses. Now let's lift him up and set him on back here. We put him on the back of the horse.
Let me get some exertion. What kind of sounds does he make when he lifts a 220-pound man on a horse?
Jesus Christ, that's big. Birdie, I might need a third.
No, you two got it.
That's a lot of weight. Have you moved that weight like that around?
Yeah, today I did.
Tate's strength is only 55, all right?
Well, Cameron's got it. He's, you feel like he's got a lot more of it, but you're not complaining.
Tate would have passed his strength check. So.
All right, make some.
As he heaves him up and onto the back of the horse.
You're grabbing them both, right?
You notice the windows get a little bit brighter.
What? Did you set that place on fire?
It goes with him, Birdie.
Well, that ain't right. Let's see here.
None of this is right.
And Birdie, you feel that feeling, that pressure. It's a little bit lighter, but you still feel it. You feel like there's something nasty around you.
You feel that?
You
Clay?
do.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Hey, Cameron,
Yeah?
we're all going to need to stay pretty close to each other here. Just for a bit.
I reckon we'll be on horses.
Yep. All right. Let's see here.
Clay, it feels like you're carrying it with you.
You get the sheriff, I'll take the kid.
Can you ride straight right now?
I mean, I'm sure the horse will do most of the work for me.
He's not blind.
And he's also got decades of, time in the saddle.
Yeah.
Tate doesn't know how bad he went through.
Good point.
So
Yeah,
Good point.
it doesn't hurt to check.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine. All right, tell you what, you take the kid, I'll take the sheriff. Did you get anything else out of there? You find them books?
Yeah. What do you think we need for proof, Birdie?
Well, it's the dangest thing. I have no idea. I mean, I think you did a good job of getting rid of a good chunk of it.
I think the proof we need's in this bag. I think that feeling is with the proof.
All right. Well, keep it close. We'll keep close. I say we get back.
You want to bring it back, or should we?
We got to bring it back.
I'll take you on that.
Mm-hmm. Just have to keep an eye on each other.
And I think we can end today's episode on that.
Nice.
Well, shit. That's one hell of a crater. I'm not sure what to make of all this, Frank. Well, neither am I. Who the hell has these kinds of resources? This kind of information. I've never seen a cleanup like this. Neither have I. At least we know my agents were telling the truth. I'm not sure what to do knowing that. Alborn has access to the same information I got. He's more connected than I am. Should have been easy. Why would he fabricate a story about a sun cult? I think we both know the answer. Hello, everybody. It's me, Cody Zenner, coming at you with some fun news. And also, of course, what I have to do every time. I say it every time. I'm going to say it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your support. We have Patreon. We have merch. We have Discord. I think we probably have some other stuff. But with that out of the way, and I'll touch on some of that later, I do also want to announce, very, very fun, very exciting, we have officially started recording Chapter 3, which here's the news part of it. When Chapter 2 is concluded, right, the last episode of Chapter 2 has come out, we will be taking a 2-week hiatus from uploading, just to kind of take a little bit of a break and take a breath and bring you guys some good, high-quality content. After those 2 weeks, we will be resuming with, I think you might have just heard my cat. But after those few weeks, we will be resuming with Chapter 3. At which point, we'll be coming at in it, a little sneak peek. So you had Apollo's Cradle, you had So Let It Be Written. Chapter 3 will be called The Blessed Below. Very excited about this one. I've been working on it for quite a while. I mean, I've been working on all this for quite a while, but this one is pretty big just in terms of how much time I've put into writing it, like the number of pages and whatnot. And it's very sandboxy, I think. Obviously, it depends on what the players do, which I don't know what Birdie Johnson and Tate Clay are going to do. And that's kind of a fun thing with writing these types of shows, right? Is I can do as much prep work as possible. And if you ever DM'd a game before that, you wrote or prepared, or even if you didn't write it, you never really know what the players are going to do. You never know. And, trying to write a show like this is a very fun challenge because you have to be able to roll with the punches, I can, the important thing is I prepare the outline and the characters and the world and the history and the setup and all that jazz. And then Birdie Johnson and Tate Clay are running wild within that. So anyway, that's a whole aside. Who cares about that? But anyway, so Chapter 3, The Blessed Below, will be coming out after we take a 2-week hiatus from uploading, which that hiatus will begin the final episode of Chapter 2, which is this one, So Let It Be Written. And then other things, I mentioned last time the Patreon and the merch store. We have the Apollo's Cradle and the So Let It Be Written shirts on the website. They're pretty cool. They're pretty snazzy, as well as hats and mugs and stickers and yada yada. As well, also the Patreon. We have content on the Patreon now, as well as a fine selection of tiers to choose from, starting at $3 all the way up to whatever, $10, I think is what it is. Hi, buddy. I don't know if you guys can hear my boy Chamberlain. He's meowing at me. Anyway, but yeah, so, and with that, I got to shout out our 2 patrons. That would be Steak and Totoro's Bang Bus. You guys are awesome. And you are greatly appreciated. So, anyway, with that, I think I will allow you guys to get on with your Tuesday morning or whatever day it is. For me, it's a Monday afternoon. I tend to record these, if you guys couldn't tell. I record these the night before I upload them because I feel like that just makes the most sense. I get to hang out with you guys, almost live, right? So anyway, enjoy your day, drink a cup of, coffee, enjoy your cup of coffee, and hopefully every challenge you face today, you overcome with ease. How about that? All right. Same place next week. Bye.